I think I'm in love, say it way too often. I can't play these games, think I'm switching up the offense. See me in LA, I be moving cautious. I can't feel no pain, rolling up, I'm so exhausted. I be so exhausted, whoa, I be so exhausted, whoa, I close my eyes, I see the vision. All this weed and got me lifted, pour for and then I finish.
When watching a Supernova Productions presentation, it is important to remember the Supernova's guide to not being a dumpus. This guide involves the watch principle, which goes as follows. Watch where you watch this video. This video contains emergency alert system tones that, if played near EAS equipment, such as encoders or HAM radios, could cause an activation of the emergency alert system. Unauthorized activations of the emergency alert system are federal offenses. The charge for a federal offense could range from $20,000 to $1 million. You could also spend a few months to 5 years in jail. Adjust your volume accordingly. This video contains loud noises that can cause ear damage. The creator of the video, Supernova/Hypernova, will not be responsible for any ear damage caused by this video. Tune to another video if need be. This video may contain noises that could be upsetting to viewers with noise sensitivity or neurological conditions, such as ADHD or autism spectrum disorder. In addition, this video may contain topics that could be triggering to some viewers. These topics include, but are not limited to, mentions or depictions of war, self-harm, horror, violence, death, and various others. Viewer discretion is advised. Click away if need be. This video may contain flashing lights, which could have negative effects for photosensitive viewers. Have some basic humility. Do not steal this video or re-upload without permission from the owner. Doing so may result in a DMCA strike on your channel. Remember the watch principle of Supernova's guide to not being a dumpus while viewing this presentation, and we hope you enjoy the show.
Good morning Rockford and our neighboring cities, and thank you for tuning into Eyewitness News at 7. We currently have a strange breaking news story today. Residents all across the United States have reported sightings of a supernova explosion over the skies. This was originally discovered at midnight, however the phenomenon has continued until right now. The supernova is still very visible in the sky, even in the daytime, so there's little chance for anyone to miss it. NASA currently has no explanation for this, as no supernovae have occurred recently, and no light from past supernovae have reached Earth yet, aside from this one. This is being considered a once-in-a-lifetime event, as a supernova has not been seen from Earth since 1604, which was 418 years ago, before the United States was even a country. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration has stated that no gamma radiation has affected the ozone layer, which is the type of radiation released from a supernova explosion. Some residents have stated that the supernova kinda looks like it's in the shape of a human, leaving many to compare it to a constellation, and giving it all types of names. Its official name by NASA is SN22-222SNHN. However, due to this being quite a boring and long name, residents have came up with their own nicknames, with the most popular being Synths Wave. However, many residents are still weary about the broadcast from the second, as no trace of it can be found. However, the government assures the public that they are safe, and this is likely another prank hijack to cause mass hysteria.
following message is transmitted at the request of the Space Weather Prediction Center and the Freeport Police Department. A space weather watch exists for the city of Freeport. Many residents have reported instances of people suddenly and inexplicably stopping to doing whatever they're doing and going towards the downtown portion of the city. These residents also seem to be a trance-like state and appear to have lost their sense of direction and awareness, not being able to register external stimuli, such as snapping in the face or pushing and shoving, and appear to stop at nothing to get to the downtown area. These residents were also reported to have looked at the supernova in the sky. If you have looked at the supernova within the past hour, you're advised to call 911 as you may be under this phenomenon's effects. Jody Miller has officially forbade anyone from looking at the supernova until a proper investigation has taken place on this phenomenon. You are advised to do the following: close all windows in your home and cover them with thick blinds or curtains that are hard or impossible to see through. The option of sheltering in place is available. However, this is a voluntary order, and you are not required to do so. Residents may still go outside and continue with their daily routines. However, it is advised that you do not look at the sky for the time being. Isolated and unconfirmed instances of this situation have been reported across the United States. Due to this, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration is looking into this situation. If the cases of the phenomenon across the United States can be confirmed, a National Information Center statement may be issued over the primary entry point system. For now, stay tuned for further updates on this situation. Normal programming will resume for the time being. Thank you for your time.
We have a strange news story following the reports of the supernova over the skies. Many residents from across the United States have reported being in a trance-like state after viewing the supernova and wanting to head to the city of Freeport, Illinois. Many residents in a trance-like state seem to know what the exact fastest method to get to the city is, with some even walking due to it actually being quicker than driving or flying. These residents only seem to exit their trance-like state to order tickets or pay interstate tolls, then re-enter their trance-like state. In addition, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration has reported a strange occurrence with the supernova. The supernova appears to be changing colors in some areas and changing shape, now resembling a human even more. It's clear to see that a supernatural phenomenon is taking place. Originally, the supernova was deemed unsafe to look at. However, many residents have reported instances of them not being affected despite looking at the supernova for extended periods of time, and many times since the supernova began, which leaves the National Aeronautics and Space Administration baffled on how this phenomenon works, yet many places are still advising residents to not look at the
The following message is transmitted at the request of the United States government. Do not turn off your device at this time. At around midnight, a supernova explosion was seen over the skies of the planet and is currently still visible over the United States. This supernova was harmless until around 7:20 a.m. Central Daylight Time, when certain residents who viewed the spectacle suddenly entered a trance-like state and gained the desire to go to the downtown portion of the city of Freeport, Illinois. This phenomenon has been reported in the following states: Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, New York, New Jersey, Florida, Kentucky, North Dakota, and California. So far, this phenomenon appears to be harmless. However, due to the uncertainty of the situation, citizens are advised to stay indoors for the time being and to not go outside. Do not look at the supernova. Although many residents have reported looking at the supernova and being fine, this phenomenon is still being investigated, and until it can be confirmed that only a select bunch of individuals can be affected by this phenomenon, the supernova is deemed unsafe to view. For the time being, you are only outside if you need to do the following: get help for an emergency, go to work, or get essential items like food from stores. All non-essential institutions are closing for the time being and will be allowed to reopen once the supernova as deemed safe to view. Until then, stay in your home and monitor media outlets for further information. Updates will continue to be provided via the emergency alert system. This has been a message from the National Emergency Alert System. Normal programming will now resume.
Now that everyone is here, we can begin our plans to take over the state. First, we shall capture this county and then install a mayor, which shall be chosen from our army, but by popular vote of the people. Then, our forces will split. Half will march on the capital Springfield, and half will march on Chicago. I will be leader of the army taking over Chicago, while one of my good friends will lead the army marching on Springfield. After we capture the state, we will move eastward towards the District of Columbia. However, since we still need time to plan it, the details of the plan will not be revealed at this time. The following message is transmitted at the request of the Freeport Police Department. Major rioting is occurring in the city of Freeport. The residents that have been under the effects of the supernova have now begun rioting and looting. These residents so far do not seem to be harming residents, and only seem to be going after police and government institutions. However, this may change at any time. All residents receiving this broadcast are urged to shelter in place for the time being due to the uncertainty. These affected individuals have exhibited new characteristics and abilities, which goes as follows. The eyes shifting into a material that resembles a nebula or stardust. The hands and feet glowing a bright light blue color, with them gaining extremely dangerous abilities, such as being able to lower or increase temperatures in parts of their body so low or high, to the point where it freezes or incinerates objects they touch. In addition, they appear to be able to shoot a plasma-like substance, similar in makeup to the plasma of a star, and have been noted shooting other space-like objects, such as small meteors, electromagnetic pulses, and ultraviolet radiation. These individuals also appear to be way more resilient than the average human, being able to withstand multiple waves of gunfire without stopping the slightest bit, and being able to regenerate injuries. This has made the situation extremely difficult for the police to deal with, and as such, residents are urged to shelter in place immediately. Close and lock all windows and doors. Turn off all heating and air conditioning systems, and seal all cracks or openings on doors and windows with tape, damp clothing, or damp towels. Schools and other care facilities are currently on lockdown, and will not allow anyone in or out of those facilities to keep everyone safe. Do not attempt to gather children or loved ones from schools, hospitals, or nursing homes. You will be denied entry. Do not approach anyone under the effects of this phenomenon, as you could be putting your life in extreme danger. Stay tuned for further information regarding this situation. Updates will continue to be provided via the emergency alert system as they become available.
The following message is transmitted at the request of the Cook County Emergency Management Agency. The affected individuals have been spotted in Chicago and have begun attacking more government and police buildings. In addition, they appear to have taken control of police forces in previous cities they captured, which has dramatically increased their numbers. These police forces seem to have weaker powers, but the original entranced individuals have not suffered any power loss. These individuals seem to be keen on taking over the entire state, which is why you are advised to do the following. Gather food, water, clothing, medical supplies, cell phones, phone chargers, toiletries, pillows, and blankets, a battery-powered hand crank or weather radio with extra batteries and a charger, money, and important documents. In the event your property or belongings get destroyed, residents should not evacuate to the following counties as they have already fallen: Stevenson, Winnebago, Boone, McHenry, Lake Carroll, Ogle, DeKalb, Kane, Kendall, DuPage, Will, and Whiteside. The National Guard has been alerted about the situation and will be deployed soon to evacuate residents and combat the entranced. You are not advised to shelter in place as the city is likely to fall within hours and you will no longer be safe. If you are evacuating on your own terms, try to only take one car of family with you. Contraflow has been enacted on all roadways to make sure evacuations occur quickly and safely. If the entranced continue to take parts of the state, the entire state may be placed under an evacuation or shelter-in-place order, and highways and roadways that connect to the northern portion of Illinois will be destroyed, effectively cutting off the entirety of northern Illinois. Repeating, northern Illinois is under attack by the entranced and will likely fall within hours. Evacuate now to protect your life. This is an emergency warning from what is left of the Illinois government. Evacuate the state now. The National Guard has been completely taken over and entranced, leaving Illinois defenseless and allowing the entranced to easily take over the state. You are no longer safe. Evacuate the state now. Refugee shelters have been set up in surrounding states and can be found on www.fema.gov/nova, with the specific facilities being Indiana University, Bloomington, and Bloomington, Indiana, Highland High School, Highland, Indiana, Westfield High School, Westfield, Indiana, University of Iowa, Iowa City, Iowa, Unity Point Health, Cedar Rapids, Iowa, Central High School, Davenport, Iowa, UW Health University Hospital, Madison, Wisconsin, Memorial Hospital of Lafayette County, Darlington, Wisconsin, Brookfield, Central High School, Brookfield, Wisconsin. More shelters will be set up in the following hours. The National Guard of surrounding states are being mobilized to help take back the state. However, this will likely not occur soon, as the entranced are extremely dangerous and have the ability to entrance others. Until then, evacuate the state. Gather essential items when evacuating, and do not return home until your all clear has been given. Repeating, the state has fallen to the entranced and is no longer safe for residents to reside in. Evacuate now to protect your life. Now that Illinois is captured, I can reveal the second part of the plan. With the Illinois National Guard under our control, we can commit a double attack. Half of our forces will capture states going down the Mississippi.
Mississippi River to cut off the East and its resources from reaching the West, which should hopefully begin to force the West's hand without bloodshed, due to the East being rich in resources like food and water, as although California is one of the largest producers of food and water in the United States. Without the aid of Illinois, Iowa, and Nebraska, they likely will not produce enough food and water to feed everyone, thus forcing their hand. The other half will capture states along the Ohio River, moving towards the capital. With the capital, Congress, and President captured, the rest of the United States should be forced to concede to our forces, allowing us to finally be able to take the country and rule it as it was always supposed to be, by its own people.
Needing a friend, and I feel now, I guess I'll be with you till the end.
New Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda.
Classic cola?
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Emergency situation declared. Red card event in effect. An emergency situation is taking place. The Illinois National Guard, along with the Air National Guard of Illinois, has been completely taken over and has now commenced attacks on surrounding states. Attacks have been reported on the following states in the Midwestern United States: Iowa, Indiana, Michigan, Ohio, Kentucky, Missouri, Wisconsin, and Minnesota. In addition, residents affected by the supernova have begun moving towards eastern states and seem to be headed towards Virginia, West Virginia, or Maryland. The United States Armed Forces have been deployed to respond to the situation. However, due to the Illinois National Guard being enhanced by powers from the supernova, many states have been overwhelmed by Illinois National Guard and have been being entranced and turned against their own states. So far, little civilian casualties have been reported. However, major property damage has been reported in the states under attack. Residents are advised to shelter in place or evacuate to the northeast now. Many shelters have been set up in the northwestern United States, and their specific locations can be found on www.fema.gov/nova. It has now been confirmed that looking at the supernova only harms select individuals, and it is safe to view. However, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration has made a disturbing discovery. The supernova has completely morphed into a giant humanoid being with semi-long hair, eyes resembling the entranced individuals, and a suit that appears to be made of a purple nebula. The supernova has been confirmed to be a living being, but has not made any attacks on the planet itself. NASA is currently attempting to communicate or negotiate with the supernova. However, no line of communication has been established as of yet. For now, you are advised to abandon your home and any essential items except for clothing, medications, important documents, and a method of receiving emergency information, and evacuate northeastward, as the shelters will provide you with food and water. Do not delay, evacuate now. To repeat, the entranced have commenced a full-on attack on the Midwestern United States. Evacuate now to protect your life.
Mail note from the victim.
threatening to expose the mayor in a corruption scandal unless the victim was paid off.
This is an imminent safety warning from the Louisiana Emergency Management Agency. The state continues to be ravaged by the forces of science wave, as they continue to capture states and entrench their National Guards, and use them to attack other states. From the current path of their forces, they appear to want to capture the Mississippi River, and states along it, likely to cut off either the West or the rest of the East from one another's support. Due to this, all residents in states that border the Mississippi River should evacuate now for your safety. You are not advised to evacuate eastward, as science wave forces have been advancing eastward as well. The following states should be avoided as evacuation zones, as they have been compromised by science wave forces: Illinois, Iowa, Indiana, Minnesota, Michigan, Missouri, Kentucky, Tennessee, Arkansas, Ohio, and West Virginia. With Louisiana being on the brink of capture, you are advised to evacuate towards the southeast or the western United States. Do not focus on gathering items like food or water, as the Federal Emergency Management Agency is providing misplaced residents with that. Only gather things such as medical supplies, important documents, and the medium of receiving information. Do not return home, as there will likely be no home to return to. Do not attempt to pick up loved ones from schools, hospitals, or nursing homes, as these facilities have long been evacuated, and you will find no one there. Instead, go to the designated location sent to you by those facilities. If the forces do not slow, a national emergency may be declared, which could result in new mandatory restrictions across the nation. In the event that this happens, tune into NOAA weather radio, commercial radio, television outlets, or cellular phones, as these are all mediums that can receive national emergency action notifications. To repeat, the Midwest is being obliterated by science wave forces, and will likely be captured within hours. Evacuate west to protect your life. This station will now cease programming operations and go off the air. Tune to another station to receive emergency information.
National emergency situation declared. Black Card event in effect. Listen to this broadcast very carefully. Synth wave forces have been spotted outside of Washington, D.C., and have already begun attacks on the city. Both Northern Virginia and the entirety of Maryland have been captured, leaving the city completely surrounded, and the headquarters of the United States Armed Forces has been captured. What is left of all captured states' National Guard has been mustered in the city to defend it. However, due to synth wave forces cutting off the west from the east, no reinforcements have been able to be sent to deal with this. So it is likely that if the city falls and multiple government facilities are captured, along with important government officials, it is likely that there will be no help, which could cause the country to fall. Due to this, you are advised to not fight synth wave forces or try to evacuate, as you will likely be captured. The United States government has devised a plan to Saturn, which would result in the western United